강사를 선택을 해야 되는데 우리 학교 졸업생 중에 누가 선택하게 됐나 회의를 했는데 그게 나야. 아니 왜 1등을 데려다가 하지 왜 597등을 데려다가 제 생각에는 그 친구들이 훌륭하게 된 사람을 뽑은 게 아니고 행복한 사람을 뽑은 거예요. 누가 자기 졸업생 중에 제일 행복한가? 저는 중고등학교 때 제일 하고 싶은 오로지 하나밖에 없었어요. 사제가 되고 싶은 거, 신학교가 되고 싶은 거. 그리고 신학교 합격한 날 온 세상을 얻은 그때 그 기쁨은 아직도 남아있어요. 신학교 합격한 날 얼마나 행복했을까. 그리고 신학교 생활 정말 재밌었죠. 신학교 생활 정말 재밌었단 말이에요. 보자 3년도 행복했고 본당 신고 10년 했는데 우리나라 교우들이 참 착해요. 나 본당 신고 10년 동안 교우들이 본당 신고를 어떻게 했느냐면은 이렇게 손에다가 받들어 업고 다녔어. 얼마나 행복해요. 그리고 평창에 와서 산 지 11년, 12년이 되는데 참 좋아요. 평창 가보면은 경치가 너무너무 좋아요. 마당에 딱 있으면요, 산 보이지, 강 보이지, 밤에 별 보이지, 걱정이 하나도 없어요. 아니, 걱정이 있을 게 뭐가 있어? 마누라가 있어, 자식이 있어. 걱정할 게 뭐가 있어? 걱정이 하나도 없어, 걱정이. 얼마나 행복한지 몰라요. 그러니까 행복한 나를 조종하는 것 같아요. 근데 우리는 꼭 1등을 해야 돼. 1등을 못하면 불행하다고 생각해요. 자기가 하고 싶은 1등을 하면 우리가 어디로 들어가야 되냐?
Once again, he said something very important, very, well, I think Americans will, in a way, understand this better than the Koreans here, but it's about being the very best is not everything. You know, you don't have to be the best to live happy. Like most people in America, you know, just because you didn't go to college, oh, that doesn't mean anything. You can make something of yourself. I mean, that's how a lot of wealthy people were, and just because you couldn't make it to college doesn't mean your like future is ruined. You could always go to the military, stuff like that. And for him, well, he wasn't the best at school. He was at the top 500 instead of being the very best student. But when they had a reunion, you know, after like 30 years, 30-year reunion or something, his friends chose him as the best student at school because they didn't choose him for being number one at school. They chose him for being the happiest, someone who doesn't regret about what he has chose. Because a lot of people, their job, they don't like it. They thought it's a good business at first, but later they regret it. But he didn't because, well, he chose what he wanted at an early age. And he didn't want to be the best, he just wanted to be happy. And I think that's very important. He says that his road to becoming a priest was the best moment of his life. Not because he was the best at it, but because that's what he wanted. And no one forces him to do anything. And again, Americans would easily understand that. You know, a lot of parents, just because you have a D in class, they don't kick you out of the house. They scold you about it, say just do a little better. But they don't want you to, stress yourself out. Here, however, all the parents are like, you have to be number one, you have to be number one. And I'm thinking, well, that number one spot, there's only one of them. What happens if you don't make it? Does that mean you disown the child? No. Then stop making them think that, because that's how kids think. Kids here are like so afraid of it because they're like, the parents want them to be number one, so they're trying so hard. That's why they go to cram school, and they don't have time to have social time, like to play around. So that's what they need to learn here from this this meeting. Very important.